everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about autism and motor skills and how they affect me as an autistic woman on the spectrum, and how they affected me as a child growing up and how they affect me now still as an adult. So let's get into it. So I am affected by being clumsy, which is my hand-eye coordination. I don't have very good balance or posture control. I'm very adamant at bruising and hurting myself because I fall over a lot and I injure myself. I'm quite prone to bruising, which is part of my not kind of knowing what's happening around me. And my balance control, I'm very aware I have weak posture and balance coordination issues. I have low muscle tone, which is also known as being hypertonic or hypotonia, which I'll list down in the video description below for you to read more on. So yeah, I'm also more flexible than I might be for someone of my age because my body isn't aware of how far I should or shouldn't stretch and how far my muscles should or shouldn't work. So again, it's about body proprioception and not knowing how my body should or shouldn't work and how I should respond to it within pain, or how far I should push myself to test myself on it. So again, that's not a good thing either. I used to be unable as a child to point or tell people if I was distressed. Like, I wouldn't clap, I wouldn't scream, I wouldn't shout to let someone know if I was in distress or not. So that sometimes isn't a good thing because parents would need to know if I'm safe with someone or if I was happy, if I wasn't happy. So again, that was areas that I struggled for my brain to communicate with me to tell me if I was in distress or not at that time. Also, I had issues with manipulating objects, so picking things up to like throw them or pass them to someone. I didn't have the ability to be able to control how to manipulate them, to make them work, to pass them to someone, to control it. So I'd often would drop objects and just let them go on the floor. Also, things like riding a bike, so I wouldn't be able to physically sit there and control how I'd ride a bike, like the feeling of pedalling, and get my legs to communicate with my brain to say, look, you need to pedal, you need to pedal, you need to put your feet on the pedals and push down to make the bike work so the bike would run normally. So things like that. Also things like jumping, skipping, things that require me to be action, so running, walking, putting one foot in front of the other, being on top of things, knowing how one foot works in front of the other to make yourself walk, and being on level ground, showing yourself that you could do it and making yourself in control of everything. So again, I struggled with that as well. Also, I struggled with what we call body proprioception, body temperature. So I would often, back in being a child and still a little bit now as an adult, I have trouble with wearing the appropriate clothing sometimes in certain times of the year. So back as a child, I would wear things like, so in summer, I would wear winter clothes, and in winter, I'd wear summer clothes. My body and my brain wouldn't communicate to me, so that I didn't know how to regulate myself. I didn't know how to feel if I was hot, if I was cold. I wasn't able to process that feeling. I wasn't able to recognise that I was wearing the inappropriate clothes for that time of year. It wasn't till my mum would tell me that, you know, it's summertime, you're dressing yourself up for winter, aren't you hot? Like, you know, go and get changed, you need to cool down, that kind of thing. And I didn't realise that I was wearing the inappropriate footwear as well. So for a lot of time, like in summer, I'd wear winter boots or full length trainers, like things like that. My mum was like, Gemma, go and put a pair of sandals on, like, you know, it's hot. And then in the winter time, I'll do the opposite. She's like, "Oh, you're cold. Like, you know, you need to be layering up because it's winter now." So again, I was very unaware of that. Also, things like being able to like throw balls or take part in group activities, I just couldn't process it. I've never been one for like group sport activities because I couldn't catch or throw the ball very far. I'm not able to respond quick enough to take part in that team effort. I don't really process how to do it, but I'm getting better now as an adult. I've learned a lot more coping strategies to help me, and I'm a lot more quicker when it comes to responding to things now. I dress more appropriately for like this time of year. Like you see, I have a t-shirt on and some leggings, whereas before I'd be sitting here in a full length winter jumper, probably a scarf or whatnot, whereas now I know what is and isn't appropriate. Whereas in winter I'd be sitting here in a vest and maybe a dress or something, but now I'm more aware of what is socially appropriate to wear and what isn't. So also I'm more balanced now. I know how to control my balance better. I still can't do things like stand on one leg or do things like cartwheels, forward rolls, any kind of gymnastic sport activity, because my body just can't handle it. I'm not very sport minded. So things like forward rolls and doing anything that includes balance is not very good. I also have problems with my eyesight, so like eye control. Like I have a lot of rapid eye movement, so you'll probably see that in most of my videos. I'm very unaware to control my eye movements at all. So yeah, I hope you've kind of understood who I am and how my fine and gross motor skills affect me. I'll link some resources down below in the video description to help you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!